Everyone, I will teach you how to discern the voice of Satan. So, when one is being tempted, one, you're weak and vulnerable at that very moment, or that's what the adversary believes you to be. Now, the voice of Satan is that subconscious thought that you think is your thought, or just a thought of, I should do X, I should do Y, I should do Z. I just overcame sin by doing this one thing. And this is what Jesus did. Basically, I understood the thought speaking to me in a way very comforting, very like myself, but deep down you know you don't want to sin. You know you don't want to do XYZ thing, so you want to break through. So here's what you do. You listen to that voice. You speak to the voice. Like you would speak to a person in front of you. Say the voice in your head is telling you not to do XYZ thing. Don't look at this. The voice is telling you to look at this, look at that, do this. And you say to that voice, okay. Now, you call that voice by name, so the voice knows you're talking to that voice. And you can actually understand that voice in a way where you're like this. Boom. Satan, it is written, the soul that sinneth in it shall die. And XYZ thing is sin. And I'm a believer in the words of Jesus and the words that are written in the Holy Scriptures. And because I believe in what is written, I do not want to die, and I wish for my well-being. And I believe that word to be true. Therefore, depart from me, Satan. Now, Satan, when he tempts you the first time, it's always the strongest one. But he comes back stronger and stronger. Satan has a 3-time remedy. When you're weak, he'll tempt you 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. He's always going to strike more than once. So what must you do? I just told you. You have to fight him with a word. But God knows you don't want to fight. But the thing is, when you fight him, you shake that devil off your back. You shake it right off. You actually understand and be able to know, okay, that sin is not for my well-being, but a lie from the adversary to entrap me in the circle of pain and sin and torment. We've been trapped in cycles of sin for decades, but we can finally break free with understanding. For it is written, the knowledge of the holy is understanding. Being able to understand, look, wait, understand, because listen, if that voice in your mind is right there, right, and you don't say anything, if you don't act, well, that voice will eat at you, and eat at you, and eat at you, and eat at you, and eat at you, until you succumb. You will become no longer conscious. You will become drunk with the bombarding of his thoughts and emotions. Therefore, that's how you recognize the voice of Satan. Also recognize the voice of God. The voice of God is those thoughts that support the scriptures. If you can understand that when you hear that voice in your head, clear as day, saying things that are pro with scripture, you can discern that as the voice of God, and the other side, the voice of Satan. So if it transgresses scripture, it's Satan. But if it's pro scripture, it's the voice of God. Don't be insecure about it. If it transgresses scripture, it is Satan. If it is pro scripture, It is God. It's not silent. Your thoughts are not silent. You can hear them. You can perceive them. You can understand them. That's why if I can say, okay, I'm going to pick this up in my mind. You hear your voice telling you to do these things. Just easy as you're telling yourself to do this. That's how easy sin or XYZ thing. That's how our actions are done. So all our sin can be stopped in a moment. By understanding that. Goodbye. Like and subscribe if this helped you out, and comment down below if this helped you break your chains and bondage and endless turmoil, pain, suffering. Maybe you thought you were lost at one point, and I don't blame you. But goodbye.